Hey there guys, how's it going? It's Jules. And what's going on with my eyebrows? Anyway, um so so just probably like a 5-10 minute video ahead. It's gonna be on meditation most likely, or personal development. So you gotta be intelligent in the way that you absorb information. There's different types of absorbing information. You can absorb through the ego, or you can absorb through the spirit. Or there's kind of like osmosis, which is like just hanging around people and you slowly become like them. So one of the most important decisions you can make is the person that you spend your life with, your partner, and the job you choose and your decisions, because as you start life, you are the result of what your parents made you, or your parents, and then when you end life, you're the result of your decisions. So if you absorb information through the ego, knowledge is the biggest problem that's stopping you from awakening, because knowledge is ego, and ego is veil, and it veils the soul, the spirit, God, awareness, consciousness, real spiritual development. So yeah. And then if you absorb information through the spirit, the mind's used when it needs to be used, but when you don't need to use it, it's just settled and rested in the now, and you focus the mind on the present moment. You don't dwell on the past, and you don't dream of the future. You don't worry. You're not depressed. So when you're listening to people, listen from the heart and the soul. Don't actually try and conceptualize it too much and get lost in fantasies of conceptualization. Listen from the heart and say what needs to be said. But listening is one of the most important things we can do on this planet, to help each other, because, well, what happened with the Buddha is he became enlightened and he went to his guru and he's like, what do I do now that I'm enlightened? And one of his gurus said, just listen. So listening is super important. And if you're ever unsure about things, bring it back to spiritual principles, because I'm a bit unsure about socializing. I'm trying to get good with socializing, so I'm trying to listen, build rapport, ask questions, love people. But yeah, just keep it simple. Just be like, what's the most important thing? Love. Is what I'm saying kind, necessary, and true, the 3 gates. But you want to live by that advice, but through the heart, not through the mind. If you live through that advice through the mind, you'll be reminding yourself of it constantly, and that'll actually lower your consciousness, and your spiritual development will stagger and stop and slow. But if you're already the kind of person that would do those things, you're not doing it, you're being it, and then it naturally happens as a result of you being the kind of person who would do those things and say those things and think those things. And so yeah. So let's figure out this socializing thing. I got to figure this out. And one of the best ways to figure it out is just to do a stream of consciousness. You can do this by writing, you can do this by speaking, you can do this by thinking, but it's best to just speak it out, because real thinkers don't think. Alright. So I guess listening, obviously, when someone's talking, listening. When you're talking, but all this is just theory. So, okay, this is what you gotta do. You gotta raise your consciousness, and here we go. The answers just come. I just spiritually download this stuff. Anyway, not to be like cocky, but yeah, I'm pretty good at that. But yeah, you gotta raise your consciousness and become naturally loving, because you only have to love, like, it depends on your state of consciousness. If you're not that conscious, you need to remind yourself. But if you're pretty conscious, and you're naturally, everything is a loving thought in God's mind, as i.e. meditation, enlightenment, then you'll naturally just love people, because you're feeling it. You're not thinking it, you're feeling it. And this is what Michael Jackson said. They're like, what are you thinking when you're dancing? He's like, thinking's the worst thing you can do. You just gotta feel. And Eckhart says the same thing. Presence can't be thought, it must be felt. So yeah, there we go. Raise your consciousness and you'll naturally be good with people, because you're loving, and everyone wants to be loved, which is a quote by one of my spiritual teachers who I just actually found yesterday. He's my neighbor actually, at my place, which is absolutely crazy. So I've got like a spiritual coach, I've got a spiritual teacher, I've got another spiritual teacher, I've had a spiritual teacher in the past, I've had a couple in the past actually. So as you raise your consciousness, you'll start having synchronicities and running into people who are on the same path. So anyway, I'll leave it at that, guys. Fuck, that was actually a pretty good chat. Anyway, I hope you're alright. If you're not, join my meditation mastermind community, message me, and we'll get a 30-minute free meditation call, and we'll get you back on track or more motivated or wherever you need to be. So let's go, guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time.